Genius for life. Coconut smoothies coming at you. Hello, welcome to episode 164 of 15 Minutes of Genius. I am your kind of somewhat genius host, Alex Baer, CEO, co-founder of Genius Juice. We have organic smoothies and more recently, organic wellness shots, which are all about cognitive function, which are cool, called the Genius Boost Shot. More to come on that. So a couple laundry list items just to go through. Make sure to give us 5 stars on Apple Podcasts. To search for Apple Podcasts, 15 Minutes of Genius, and give us 5 stars. Also, there is a Republic campaign. So we're raising capital online. We wish we had a lot of capital. We have some capital, but we definitely need more to grow the brand to where it needs to be. And so we're launching in some new stores this year, club stores. And also we are developing a new wellness shot, as mentioned. So make sure the comment will be, the link will be in the comments section. I'll put it in there. If you would like to invest in Genius Juice, you get actual equity in our company as we grow. And again, it's on republic.com. All right, without further ado, our guest, I don't think I've had anyone on that's had as much experience in the CPG space as this gentleman. So Mike Stern, he is the Chief Executive Officer of Marin Kombucha. He started with them roughly about 5 months ago. But before Marin Kombucha, which is a smaller, it was a startup. It's a small brand now. He's looking to make it bigger. But check out his experience. And I won't say too much, Mike. I don't want to speak on your behalf, but I'm just looking at LinkedIn. He was at, I'm not even, I can scroll down even further here, but I'm going to go, wow. Okay. So I'm just going to make this as quick as I can. He was at Kraft Foods Group back in the 90s. He was at Nestle. He was a regional consumer brand manager. He then joined Coca Cola from 1995. And then he stepped down from Coca Cola in 2016. He was the marketing director. He was an AVP group marketing director, global vice president of sales and marketing, strategic partnerships. He then was the group vice president of sales and marketing for 3 years until 2019. He was the senior vice president of Advantage Solutions, one of the top brokerage firms for CPG in the country. And then he was self-employed for 1 year, quick. And then he joined Marin Kombucha. That's a mouthful, but it's amazing what you've done. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome, Mike Stern. How you doing?
I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me on the show.
You're welcome. I had to take a few breaths through that to get through all your different titles and experience. Let's start just, I'd like to start with a very open-ended question about, it may go beyond 15 minutes here, but your experience, starting in the industry, in the 90s, going to Nestle, going to Coke, going to Advantage, just kind of give us a general run through about your experience there. And let's start with your past.
Well, I spent 35 plus years in the CPG space, within sales, marketing, channel, and then, running large sales teams. And basically, every experience was great. I started off in a sales kind of position, learning how to do sales in CPG. Loved that. Really wanted to go and pursue a marketing in the industry because I really was fascinated by, when you're a sales guy and you're looking at what's happening in marketing, you really want to get into that. I found a real passion in my career around shopper marketing and spent a lot of time in that. I think that's a real craft to really understand how to translate marketing insights and work with the customers to actually build that. So kept on getting incremental opportunities. I spent 25 years at Coke. I ended there as a group vice president running large sales teams and marketing and finance, and just decided after 25 years there, it was time to retire. So took some time off, got bored, took up a job at Advantage Solutions and realized that the broker world is a tough world. Learned a ton there, but wasn't necessarily the cup of tea for me. So did retirement number 2. And, what I really wanted to do was be with a brand that I really felt a passion for. And that's really why I've ended up with, at Marin Kombucha. I love, the kombucha. I brew my own kombucha before I joined this brand. I'm really a passion for what this brand is trying to do. And, I really want to lead a brand that I believe in. I spent a lot of time at these big brands, and you could do $150 million deal, big deal, and it was a rounding error in these companies. And it's very different, leading a company where, every penny, every dime means something. And to really grow a brand, I'm really having a great time and a lot of learning curve to really understand how to build this brand.
Yeah. I would say well and beautifully said, Mike, because for all the experience and all the things that I went over in the intro, you were able to compress that down to like 2 minutes or 3 minutes, which is very impressive. It's hard for me to talk less and still pack great information. You're much better than me.
Oh,
So with going from Nestle, from Coke, from Advantage to a small brand like Marin Kombucha, I'm assuming it's sub 20 million, in
yes.
top line sales. Um, how was the adjustment there? Like, what did you have to relearn or learn, and how like what was it like going to a much smaller brand versus these big behemoths you were at before?
Well, and I'm still very much in the learning stage. I
Mhm.
mean, I think there's a lot of things. I mean, when you're at a Coke or a Nestle, there's a ton of support. I mean, you've got, you're not touching financials, you're not thinking about cash flow, you're not having to deal with payroll, all those types of things that I'm learning now how to do, and learning the systems to use them. I think the other thing is when you're at a Coke, when I was selling things and I was selling to large accounts and doing significant contracts, I was dealing with the CEOs or I was dealing with the CMOs, and we're structuring the deal. We're talking about a lot of money, a lot of trade funds, a lot of um, money behind these things. So you're getting audiences, people pick up your calls. And, I say half my job is picking up the phone and I call 10 people. And if, two people call me back, that's a good day for me, here. And I'm learning that. And, the level of people you're talking to, you're not talking to the CMO, you're talking to the associate category manager, who is really the key person you need to talk to. And, you need to structure, they're very analytical. They understand the business very well. And you just need to make sure that you're catering the discussion for what's important to them. So I'm learning that as well.
Got it. So going into I like to just, this is like a really good case study for packaging. I'm really fascinated with marketing, packaging, what gets people to buy a product, what communicates the value. When you look at Nestle, you look at Coke, super simplistic, right? The marketing. It's like
Mhm.
one color, Coca Cola red with white writing cursive. Obviously the Coke font. And you look at different sparkling waters, Aha and Bubbly, right? Coke and
Yeah.
Pepsi brands. Super simple, super colorful. So it seems like you did and I'll let you, I want to steal the thunder here, but what led to your decision to say, hey, we need to do something. We need to upgrade the marketing. We need to upgrade the packaging. Was this something that from day one, you're like, this is something that has to be done, or did it kind of happen organically as you got to know the founders more and started working with the Marin Kombucha team?
Well, and the founders are still very engaged with the business. In Brian, who was the real founder of the brand, is still the one that does all the, he still runs all the production. He still creates all the different products. So he's very engaged in it. I think the packaging had already started. This is our original packaging. As you can see, I mean, it's a really cool kind of vintage packaging, and had done really well for us. I think what we felt is as we're trying to expand, what we wanted to do is we wanted to take the things that were important to the brand, our heritage of wine country, our great taste, our original oak, our small batch. We wanted to take that, but we needed to make it more contemporary so we could expand the brand so it didn't look as much as like a local brand.
Hmm.
And that was really the intent from it. So the idea was to kind of take what we already had as kind of our brand equity and make it into a more contemporary look. And that's what we've rolled out, into the market. Our brand, the retail, our bigger part of the business is actually our food service business is almost 60% of our business. So, expanding the retail business is really a focus of ours. And we felt like a new packaging, new messaging was really important to get consumers to try our product in different markets.
Was this something where you're like, when you joined the company, or when you first found the opportunity from the beginning, where you're like, this needs to happen? Like when was the realization that the packaging needed to change? And I asked that because I'm curious about how that decision was made. Who thought of it first? Was it the founders? Was it you? Was it both you guys at the same time? Like, tell me more about the evolution of that.
No, the founders were definitely like this. The process was already starting to get to the new packaging.
Okay.
So I mean, but it's something that we used an agency to come up with some of the, how we could take how we could take our former packaging and make it current. But no, it was definitely something that the founders were definitely engaged in getting us to where we are. Um, and but I'm a big proponent of what we did, because that's exactly the same thing I would have done if I had started the process as by myself. So
Exactly. And for those that are listening, we get maybe about a half. Let's say some people watch it, on LinkedIn or YouTube. Others just listen to it on Apple Podcasts. Plug 15 Minutes of Genius. But I'm displaying the new packaging from Marin Kombucha, and I met Mike at the Fancy Food Show. I literally just came by the booth, and I love kombucha. I drink a lot of the different competitors. I don't Marin, as you just said, Mike. You're really looking to expand the retail presence. I'd love to see it down here in Vaughn's and Whole Foods down here and Sprouts, but the packaging is what caught my eye. When walking by, I'm like, wait a minute, that's that brand that has like the San Francisco Bridge, or the Golden Gate Bridge, I should say, in the background. Or wait a minute, is this the same brand? I'm like, yeah, it is the same brand. It's Marin Kombucha. I remember the name, and the packaging to me, worlds better. I mean, the old packaging still good. It served its purpose as a local brand, but I feel like this one, again, for those that are not looking or watching, really great job. So it seems like you brought in like kind of the a little bit of that influence. I feel like there's the Mike Stern influence on this, where it was like, we need to make this look a little more broad and national. You can go anywhere with this. And it has those really nice, loud colors, nice mix, kind of a color palette. And it's very reminiscent of some of the larger Coke and Pepsi brands, not in a bad way. I think in actually a good way, in a unique way. So I love what you guys have done. It's really good. I would say,
I appreciate it.
If it sucked, I would say it sucked.
Well, good. And it's important that, we, the old package got lost on the shelf, in all honesty, because it just wasn't, you need to have a presence. And, let's be honest, a large part of most of the people that are coming in that are buying our brand have not made the decision to buy our brand before they get to the shelf. So the package is our number one seller. So it's really important that we have something that people see and doesn't get lost in the shelf. And what we really want to get, once somebody tries our brand, we have a lot of confidence that they're going to become a fan of the brand. We have a very unique taste. But it's getting that trial is what's critical, and the packaging is what's going to let us do that.
Exactly. And I won't share what brand it is, but again, because you're not in the retailers down here yet, I'm gonna use the word yet here, because I think it's coming with you guiding the ship with the founders. There's another brand that it's not the biggest brand. Okay. It's a brand that's in the middle market. It's not GT Kombucha. It's not Health Aid. But it's someone in the middle, and the packaging is really good. I love their product for a long time. And then they recently changed the formula. They changed the formula, I think for cost reasons, most likely. It just doesn't taste good anymore. It doesn't have that thing, that one thing where you taste, you're like, I love that little note in there that makes me want to go and buy it again. So Marin, though, I felt strongly like these flavor profiles kick ass. Like they're unique. They're not the ginger or turmeric or what everyone else is doing. I mean, if you look at going back to it, I mean, Pinot Sage, Original Oak, and the last one is Blood Orange Cardamom. I mean, they just taste delicious. So like, did you guys do any reformulation, or has it always been like that? Or tell me more about the history of the SKU selections.
Well, I mean, there's 5 core SKUs, which are really it's all based on wine country, and that's where we're brewed. So it's
Right.
the Pinot Sage, you know, the melon rose, the ginger lemongrass, and the apple juniper are really our core flavors, and they've been pretty consistent over time. The melon rose, I guess, was a couple of years ago, but this year we've rolled out with 3 flavors: a raspberry cocoa, a
Mm,
blood orange cardamom, and a cactus agave. And we're
mm,
seeing how they go. Really the core flavors are what's in most of the retailers, and that's really driving most of the sales. But we're going to consistently try some new flavors and see how they go. The cactus agave is actually a great tasting flavor, and where it is has done pretty well. It all depends on how many SKUs we can keep, and keep healthy at one time.
yeah. Are you gonna find that because you have, sorry, is it 5 or 6 SKUs?
We have actually 8, 5
8.
core 5 core. We also have an original oak, so we have 5 core SKUs, and then we've got 3 kind of seasonal flavors that are out in the market right now.
Okay. Do you see that when you go to retail? Because you know this better than I do, a small brand going in, getting a lot of SKUs in, it's going to be a challenge, right? To like get all of them to lift up and do well. It's going to most likely be, less than 8 that actually will excel in retail. But what's your plan on lifting those 8, or is it some retailers get one, other retailers get another SKU, or how do you plan to balance that?
Yeah, really the Pinot Sage, is really our core, like that wherever that's sold, that really is the one that, consistently does well. And then, every place that we sell it, it's one of the top, SKUs. And then the melon rose, the apple juniper, and the ginger lemongrass are all really solid SKUs that do well as well. I'd say that's kind of our core. And then depending on how productive a store is with kombucha, then you can kind of add on. So I think we've got a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 SKU list. And when we go in and we present to retailers, we go, here goes how we rank them. If you're going to take 3, here goes a 3 we'd recommend you take. If you're going to take 2, if you're going to take 5, we're telling you exactly what we think the rank is going to be, and we can give you an estimate on what the difference in sales between those different products would be.
Got it. Makes total sense. And you guys also do all your own manufacturing, correct?
Yeah, we've got a plan in Nevada, and we do everything, from the brewing, the fermenting, the flavoring, and the bottling. All do in-house.
It's great. So you can do like smaller batches as well. Like if one SKU is huge, the next SKU, there's one that's going to be, let's say, the middle last, right? Because there's always going to be one that's going to
Yeah.
not do as well as the others. You can just produce less of that batch, and you can control that by not having a co-packer. You can do as little or as much as you want, essentially, right?
Yeah, because we actually flavor after we ferment. So
Oh, the
the
base is the
kombucha is
same.
actually, we've got, we brew, we ferment the kombucha, and then we add the flavoring, as the last stage of the process. So
Got it.
yes, we can be pretty productive in our production, which obviously the founder has, he's built a world-class plant, that, he has, it's Mac Daddy. As far for a small brand, we've got a Mac Daddy production facility.
Got to get a tour of it, but you probably would be missing product if I toured the facility. You're like, wait a minute, the P&L. There's some other expenses here and losses, and that was the day that Alex Bear visited. All right, well let's get into our next segment here, and this is called rapid fire questions.
Rapid fire questions.
Cool. So to go through, are you familiar with this part of the segment, or is this a complete surprise to you?
This is a little bit of a complete surprise, but I'll be okay. I've watched some of your episodes, but I might not watch this part.
Okay. Yeah. So this part is all about getting to know you more. Let's we have, your history, your work history. You got the Armor, the Coke, the Nestle, the work side. We'd like to kind of go in a little more, dig into who you are as a person. What's your personality? What makes you tick? What do you like? What do you not like? Anyway, I'm making this sound like it's more high pressure than it really is. We just ask you, you're like biting your nail. We just ask you, 15 questions about you. and they're not as bad as it sounds. It's very, very easy. Right? You up for the up for it?
I'm up for it. I'm ready.
All right. So, first question for music: which decade is the best? The 70s, 80s, or 90s?
Definitely the 80s.
What do you do for exercise?
I run. I'm currently training for a marathon. So.
Oh, cool. All right. And the next one, and where do you live, by the way? Are you're up in Marin or Bay Area?
I go back and forth between Atlanta and California.
Got it. Okay. So a movie you can watch. I can see Atlanta for the Coke, right? That's where you kind of settled. Okay, makes perfect sense. Movie you can watch an unlimited amount of times.
Probably Step Brothers.
That is one of my favorite movies. Great answer. So why are you sweating so much? I was watching Cops. You can go on and on. What's like your favorite line or one of your favorites from that movie?
Oh gosh, you're gonna get. I'm never good with movie lines. I can't remember any from the movie, but I've watched it like 100 times.
Yeah. I mean, I love the part where like, I forget, the Will Ferrell's brother, right, in the movie, and then the dad, and Will Ferrell's brother Adam. I can't remember that actor's name is Adam Scott, I think. He's like, I feel like there's a thing between us across the table right now. I can feel it. And then like the dad's like laughing a lot, and she's like, I've never heard you laugh like that. It's really funny. Yeah.
So that movie makes you uncomfortable every time you watch it, but it's great.
Yeah, they filmed the last part actually right around the corner from where I live. It's supposed to be in Catalina Island, right? Because it's the fucking Catalina wine mixer, right? That's part.
Oh, that's right. That's right. I forgot. Yeah.
And at the very end, they actually filmed that at Trump's golf course in Rancho Palos Verdes. So it's a beautiful land, 18 holes. There's a place for people to walk, and me and my wife and family, we walk there and we're like, this is where they had the Catalina wine mixer right here on this grass. It was pretty cool.
When they're singing. Oh, that's the best part.
Yeah. It's so funny. All right. We're running out of time here. Let's keep going. So chocolate or vanilla?
Chocolate.
Favorite country to travel to?
Favorite country to travel to? I mean, I like going South America, so I like Argentina, Brazil.
Awesome. Favorite Star Wars character?
Favorite Star Wars character? I'll say Yoda.
Yep, good choice. What is your spirit animal?
Spirit animal, cheetah.
I could see that. You're going to be moving, Marin, very fast. I can tell
hopefully
from that answer. Do you like to drive an SUV, a coupe, or a truck?
Right now I'm driving mostly an electric bike, but I would say an SUV.
Nice. For food, salty or sweet?
Salty, 100%.
Favorite day of the week and why?
Saturday.
It's a good answer. That makes sense. Makes sense.
A lot of reasons.
You can watch Step Brothers and ride your electric bike on Saturday.
Exactly.
Uber or Lyft?
I prefer Lyft, but I probably use Uber more often just because it's easier to get. But
yep. LeBron James, Michael Jordan, or Kobe Bryant, the greatest of all time?
Oh, Michael Jordan. There's no doubt.
No doubt. Terminator 1 or I shouldn't even ask that question. Terminator 1 or Terminator 2? Which one do you like better?
No, it's Terminator 1.
The last few guests have said Terminator 1. I'm like, I like 2 better, just the action and the special effects. But I know that 1 is all about the story and building that, and it was like new, right? It
was unexpected. Yeah, number 2, they spent a lot more money on special effects, so I mean, it was a lot probably cooler from that perspective. But 1 is that story was amazing when it came out.
Yeah, just a robot going back in time, and all this stuff. Yeah. Favorite food or drink? You're stuck on a deserted island, and you cannot say Genius Juice. You cannot say Marin Kombucha.
Favorite drink and favorite food?
Or one or the other. Your favorite item you'd like on an island.
If I'm stuck on an island, I'm gonna get a chocolate bar.
Okay, chocolate bar, unlimited chocolate bars.
Unlimited chocolate bars. I'll have Snickers. I'll go through that. By myself, I'm just gonna eat them.
I think you'll have enough Snickers. You'll have the energy to swim off the island to the mainland. All right. So that has been rapid fire questions. Is that coming through okay? Can you hear it?
Yep.
Okay, good. Just want to make sure it works. All right. So, and this with Mike Stern. He is the CEO of Marin Kombucha and obviously a decorated history in the CPG space. So if someone wants to reach you or buy the kombucha, where do they go?
They can email me at mike@marinkombucha.com, or they can call me if they want to. I'll give them my phone number, 404-281-5646.
Okay. You said 404 or 4?
Yep.
Okay. Say that one more time.
404-281-5646.
You know, ladies and gentlemen, it shows what a stand-up guy that he is, where he's like, I'm just going to give out my number. If anyone wants to call me or text me, if we want advice or if I can help in any way, it shows you got a big heart. So thank you for doing that, Mike. Appreciate that.
Oh, no problem. I'm looking to take a lot of advice. Like you said, I have a lot of big CPG experience, but there's so many people that have started their own business that I am huge fans of what you do and what other people have done, because that's the hard work. And that's what I'm trying to learn and I'm fascinated by. So I'd love to connect with people that, maybe I have some things that I can help them with, but I would I'm learning so much now, and just talking to people like yourself and other founders who know so much about this business and so many things I don't know, which I'm trying to learn.
You've heard it here first. You never stop learning. And even someone that spent 35 years, this is, such a great share on this program, because 35 years in the CPG space, and you're like, I want advice. Like, I want to learn about this space. I want to learn about smaller brands, how you win in the emerging food and beverage space. So I love that you have that attitude, which is like, never stop learning, always soaking things in. I love that about you. It's amazing.
Great. Well, I hope to stay connected, and I will listen. I will start listening religiously to your podcast. Oh,
thank you. I will send the Venmo later for saying that. I appreciate it. No, I know it's authentic, but thank you. I appreciate the kind words. So that's episode 164 with Mike Stern of Marin Kombucha. He gave out his number. Text him, call him, just nothing after 6 or 7 p.m. I know it's post-pandemic hours, still not too late. And again, if you want to give us 5 stars, go to Apple Podcasts, search 15 Minutes of Genius. If you like to invest in Genius Juice and get equity, go to republic.com. I will put the link in the comments. Mike, thanks for joining us on episode 164, and take good care. Hope to see Marin Kombucha soon in a store near me.
Well, thank you. Bye.
Have a good night, everyone.
Genius for life. Coconut smoothies coming at you.